I will go through all of today's Tesla stock news, starting with Elon's hardcore commitment. Tesla has added another prominent figure to its litigation department, Frank Brennan. This move comes as Tesla's CEO Elon Musk continues to seek hardcore litigators to bolster the company's legal defense and take an aggressive stance in court battles. Recently, Tesla also recruited a few more prominent litigators. Dano Dowd is pretty much demanding at this point a hardcore lawsuit from Tesla. Last year, Elon tweeted looking for hardcore street fighters, not white shoe lawyers like Perkins or Cooley who thrive on corruption. There will be blood. Earlier, I also reported on some hardcore trolling that Tesla is doing, but on video, this looks even better. It's a little confusing when you first see this. You sort of have to watch it a few times to understand what is going on here. Is this really a Cybertruck? There's also more Cybertruck testing going on. Interestingly, Cathie Wood just sold 25% of their BYD position. Bloomberg reported earlier that India basically rejected BYD. Maybe that has something to do with it, maybe not. We have some good news for Tesla. This is how many times automakers issued recalls to their vehicles. These also include software recalls, and Ford is number 1, Chrysler number 2, BMW number 3, Mercedes number 4, and Tesla is quite a bit lower there. Remember, these also include recalls that were sold over the air. So Tesla is actually doing really well here. In other words, Tesla sort of matches Toyota's reliability, you could say. Tesla is planning to open a massive service and delivery center in Greater Vancouver to move 3/4 of cars imported to this region through this site. This is on the edge of Greater Vancouver, but I know exactly where this is, although it's pretty far from where I actually live inside of Vancouver. I certainly like this news. If you build a custom vehicle on Tesla's website, it will now show you similarly designed inventory vehicles available. I tried replicating this, but it didn't quite work for me, although this is a beautiful feature. Maybe it's still rolling out and just not available where I'm looking, or maybe just the inventory is a little low where I was looking in LA specifically, but this is very welcome. And this will help improve conversions, because if I don't think the car is in inventory and I just go to build the vehicle and then it says, I need to wait for 6 weeks. Okay, maybe I'll place the order, maybe not. But then I see, oh, there's one available right now. Okay, it could be gone anytime and it's exactly what I want, so let's order now. Also, with my previous businesses, we generated well over 1 million leads where we collected, for example, people's information such as email addresses, names, phone numbers, etc., etc., etc. And what I can tell you with 100% certainty, if you can reduce the number of steps that people need to take to order something, whether it's expensive or cheap, it will always help you sell more of that stuff. Something really interesting could happen to Model S and X inventories, especially this quarter because of FSD transfers. That option does not look that expensive compared to the percentage of the vehicle's total cost. So many more people actually choose FSD when they buy a Model S or X. So there's a good chance that the inventory is going to come down noticeably this quarter for the X and S, although right now the inventory remains rather stable. Steven is pretty sure that Tesla will announce 2 to 3 new factory locations in the next 12 months. One of these could be India potentially, and then we know that Tesla was in serious talks about opening a factory in Spain, although that seems to have fallen apart now. And after watching an interview of Elon with the French media, it seems like Elon is pretty committed to building something in France. It could be just a Megapack factory or a battery factory, and not necessarily a full actual gigafactory that makes cars. It appears that there is still a small chance perhaps that Indonesia is still on Tesla's list. A senior minister from Indonesia said that the government is still in talks with major companies like Tesla and BYD. Gary is getting a lot of pushback for criticizing Elon for rebranding from Twitter to now X. Gary posted a screenshot of this Bloomberg article which says analysts and brand agencies call the product's renaming a mistake. Elon just explained his perspective. Twitter was acquired by X Corp both to ensure freedom of speech and as an accelerant for X, the everything app. This is not simply a company renaming itself, but doing the same thing. The Twitter name made sense when it was just 140 character messages going back and forth like birds tweeting, but now you can post almost anything, including several hours of video. In the months to come, we will add comprehensive communications and the ability to conduct your entire financial world. The Twitter name does not make sense in that context, so we must bid adieu to the bird. I think in the short term, this could hurt, and maybe even a lot if it goes terribly wrong somehow. But in the long term, I think this is the right move for Elon. This is the port used by Giga Shanghai to export vehicles, and you can see we have one bridge here, but another bridge is being built. I'm not sure if it's just because of Giga Shanghai, but if it is, that's sort of really interesting. Tesla is getting huge. I like this kind of mall marketing. There, Tesla put some vehicles in the mall for display, and you can go in and see what the car is all about, how it feels and everything. When including gas-powered vehicles as well, after the first half of the year, Tesla has a 3.2% market share in China, up from 2.23% last year, almost a 50% increase. And this is just the beginning. Soon Tesla will be much closer to the left side right here. Some companies are even shrinking, like Nissan, for example, did quite a bit better last year than this year. The companies that are focused on electric vehicles, yeah, these companies are doing quite well. The third V4 Tesla supercharger in the world is now open in France. Elon Musk plans to ask the US Supreme Court to consider whether the Securities and Exchange Commission overstepped its authority in enforcing a consent decree that he has called a muzzle on his free speech. This is all about that funding secure tweet from a few years ago. Earlier, Elon agreed to let a Tesla lawyer approve some tweets in advance, which, of course, makes Elon tweet less things about Tesla, which I personally don't really like. I want Elon to tweet more things about Tesla. I haven't really seen Gary mention this, but it seems that Gary thinks the next Gigafactory announcement could be for building in India. Tesla just settled a class action lawsuit over a roof pricing debacle. The lawsuit started because some customers had signed contracts with Tesla and then waited for quite a few months, in some cases even a year, for example, but then their prices were increased by 30 to 150% for some. And now, 2 years later, Tesla has agreed to settle the solar roof lawsuit for $6 million, which should be distributed among the affected solar roof buyers. So only $6 million, not a big deal. This is pretty good news for Tesla. The Tesla Model Y was the best-selling vehicle overall in California in June. The BEV market share also hit a new all-time high of 21.1%. Tesla sold more Model Ys than all new Toyota RAV4s, Honda CR-Vs, Audi Q5s, BMW X3s, Honda Accords, and Lexus and Nexus sales combined. It also outsold the world's best-selling vehicle by 4 times. That is crazy. And yet, it's actually happening. Bloomberg is running this piece. Twitter's change to X wiped out between $4 to $20 billion in brand value, experts say, but Elon fires back by saying X will become the most valuable brand on Earth. Make my words. I think he meant mark my words. I can certainly feel that determination here from Elon. He's not playing around. This just happened. Tesla's Fremont factory has reportedly paused production. This video with drone footage confirms it. It's a 5-minute long video. Elon said during the Q2 earnings call last week that Tesla would temporarily pause production this quarter to upgrade the factories, although he did not specify exactly what kind of upgrades these would be. There's a good chance the Model 3 is getting a refresh. Good news here for Tesla. Tesla has publicly confirmed 350 kilowatt capable V4 superchargers within a planning submission for a site in Swindon, the UK. Here's the submission you can see in red here. And there's one more picture that clearly confirms that there will indeed be a screen. FSD Beta 11.4.6 is now finally here. Here are the release notes. Pause if you would like to read. Here's the second page. One thing that caught my attention was improved automatic emergency braking recall in response to cut-in vehicles and vehicles behind Ego while reversing. Anything with improved braking, I'm a big fan of right now, because that's usually my #1 issue with full self-driving beta right now. It just slows down when it really doesn't have to. It feels pretty safe, but it's just a little bit annoying. And Elon Musk one more time emphasizes that affordability is the limiting factor for Tesla to sell more vehicles. YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.